In this demonstration, we're going to look at configuring transport rules. Transport rules do things to email messages as they flow through our organization, and they're composed of conditions. So this specifies which message attributes are used to identify the message to act upon. Then actions specify what is to be done with the message. And then finally exceptions, and this specifies message attributes that define messages that are not acted on. And we create it all through our Mailflow tab. And in our Mailflow tab, we have our rules tab. And we're going to create a transport rule that looks at the message body or the subject in order to find out if people are actually passing email messages with their passwords backwards and forwards. And if they are sending emails with their password included, what we'll do is we'll then forward that email onto somebody who can go and just have a quiet word and say, don't send your password in an email. So to create a rule, all we do is we come into Mailflow, we come to rules and we click plus, and what we're going to do at this point here is we're going to create a new rule. But as you can see, we have some templates already in place that allow us to do other things. So for example, we can apply a disclaimer, we can modify a message, we could send messages to a moderator and so on. We're going to create one from scratch with create a new rule. That then brings us into Wizard, so the first thing we have to do is we have to give it a name. I'm just going to call mine test transport rule. The next thing to do is to apply this rule if. So we'll click on the drop down. As you can see, there's a few things to pick here. So what we're going to do is we're going to go for, if we have a look down here, the subject or the body includes. And then what we're going to do at this point here is we're going to specify password. And then we'll select the plus. Happy with all of that, we're not going to do anything else, so we'll click OK. Then what we need to do is do the following. So what are we going to do if the password is included in the email? So we'll click on the drop down, and what we're going to do at this point here is we're going to do the following. We are going to redirect the message to somebody who can have the quiet word. And what we'll do at this point here is we'll forward that to administrator, and we'll select OK. Then what we'll do is we'll make sure we do have enforce turned on. We're not going to bother auditing this with any severity level. We're not going to test it. So we're not going to test with policy tips or without policy tips. And a policy tip is just something that you can give to users to give them some additional information. If we look at more options, so within the more options, what we have is we also have the ability down here to specify when we're going to activate the rule, deactivate the rule. We can stop processing more rules if this one applies. We can defer the message if rule processing doesn't complete. What we can also do as well is we can match sender address in the message, in the header, envelope, or header or envelope, which is basically the entire email message. We can put some comments in as well, because we all work in IT, so we always document everything. So this point here, fairly happy with everything, so all we'll do at this point here is we'll just save this off. And then we can see we have our rule. So the next thing to do is let's test this rule and make sure it works. Logged in as a user called Adam, and what Adam's going to do is Adam's going to send a new email. He's going to send that new email to Beth. And the subject is going to be, at this point here, my password. Then what he's going to do is he's just going to put my password is password. And then what he's going to do is he's going to send that. And that email message is now being sent. Next thing we'll do is we'll move over and we look at the administrator mailbox and see if that message has been redirected to the administrator. And here we are, we're logged in as administrator, and in the inbox what we can see at this point here, Adam Hobbs, my password is password1234. So if we double click on that, what we can see is we can see that message was from Adam to Beth, and Adam has passed his password. So now we'll just go and have a little word with Adam and tell him not to send his password in an email. And that's the end of this demonstration.